and we'll see how he's going to be able to perform against EVS.
And good thing you give him some stage games. If you feel like there's a chance you're going to use him also in the bracket stage or potentially swap them in and out. And of course, EVS, currently the weakest team of the group stages, 1-6 so far, and that gives a good opportunity for Kingzone to put in Cuz and probably still win the game.
All right, so Champsec going through a quick Graves ban away from Yijin, and no more Ghana allowed for Gorilla, though maybe get a quick Zaya Rakan first round on the red side here. One final ban to come through off EVO's side.
It'll be interesting to see if EVS decides to go back to the Lee Sin. Last time they played against Kingzone, you do say they are the weakest team in the tournament, but that was a competitive game.
It was.
EVS was actually ahead at times against Kingzone there, and Yijin was able to perform incredibly well in the Lee Sin.
And we get this Ornn ban first, which it's obviously been the main pick for Stark. I think if I'm EVS, I'm kind of happy they banned it because I actually want Stark to play a split pusher. I think that's your main win condition against this. And the Camille is specifically the pick you're looking at, which is why I think Kingzone are considering grabbing it for themselves. Slays Ezreal when he's taking it, it's not been very impressive. You can give that champion to him and you can still easily beat it. They actually end up going with a third choice. And I think Tahm Kench specifically is good at shutting down split push comps. So if you are expecting the Camille to come in here for EVS, that can be a counter pick suddenly for Khan, plus a Tahm Kench to back him up in the side lane.
And I think, we could see Kingzone simply play their own split push style. When we've seen BDD on roaming champion, I was going to say Taliyah, but Taliyah, is going to be taken away, and that is a big takeaway, especially when you are, trying to enable that style and try to deny that from being shut down by your opponents.
Now, don't expect the blind Darius so far.
No,
we're not banned away, but I really do like the Taliyah pickup. I think it's very, very smart, and I'm curious what they go for here. And Skarner going to be grabbed in the jungle, so good frontline tank and really good individual target selection if you can find some mid-game assassination.
Yeah, some pick potential, of course. The Tahm Kench can't deny it if you actually do try and fly in and hook his carry right next to him, but you can just go for the Tahm Kench then and actually kill him, which is what we see a lot from Skarner players. And Cuz gets to play Zac, so something we did see Peanut pick once here during the group stages. He was shut down early by Fnatic and couldn't do anything. Cuz now gets to try.
I will say though, for Yijin, while Skarner is a strong pick in the meta, I don't think it has, this type of pick has been working out for them. And most of EVS' success has come from early game dominance, has come from aggression. And, Skarner is not the champion that can take over a game in the early levels. You generally need to hit 6. You farm very well. You do have that potential post 6, but by then, Kingzone could be too far ahead.
Yeah, I think just if you're EVS, you just want, want pick potential, you want a fast game. The Varus pick also works there. You can play around him in the bot lane. We've seen some teams succeed with it already, especially the Flash Wolves, where you go down at level 6. It's so easy to set up these kills with this kind of bot lane. And with the Taliyah roaming down, there is a lot of pick potential against Prey and Gorilla.
And with the Tahm Kench being blinded, we saw just last game how you can abuse that, with the Karma support last game, but it can be really any range support. It could be a Morgana if you want to look for more pick. That can be a very powerful combo with the Varus, alongside that ultimate. You have the binding to follow it up, you have the soul shackles to follow that up. That can be pretty powerful, both as an all-in and as a pushing lane.
Where's my boy Brand?
Your boy Brand?
That's a lane that can punish.
That's a lane that can punish.
You need to play the Olaf or the Graves, though, in the jungle for that to work out, right? In much the way that I think so many teams were afraid to play range supports in this sort of normal split. You're like, oh, but we can get ganked. You need to be able to own their jungle, and Skarner's not that champion.
And it's so terrifying to play a champion like Brand against a Zac, something like that.
It is for sure, but
But you can slam that lane.
I think Skarner can duel the Zac and keep him under control, and yeah, you can slam that lane. Then you got something like Taliyah coming in. It's just if they want to do something surprising to really hard win lane, there are certain options, but of course, Brand is so easy to kill, even actually for Tahm Kench alone. If you get caught out, you just.
But even if you lose, you can win your lane.
That's true. That's how you win.
Lose game.
That's
blame
the important
teammates.
thing. Actually, the Zac pick specifically, just to go back a little bit, I think what Kingzone just said to themselves, well, we want Tahm Kench so we can react to split push, and we want Zac so we have hard engage, which is another one of the answers. If the enemy top lane is just perma-sitting in the side lane, if you just force an engage on the 4, you can win that way.
Yeah, and when you want to see this Tahm Kench roaming out around the map, what better to pair with that than an Ezreal who can sit 1v2 in the lane, who can farm very safely from range, and definitely something that can look very, very strong. At the same time, we're not going to have that range support, obviously, from Ron OP. It will be the Alistar, but that is something that has a lot of playmaking, which can look for that hard engage, and that is something we're going to need to see here from EVS.
And so Khan is going to get put down to tank duty. Of course, you've got that nice Zoe in the mid lane. BDD, an amazing player in his own right. And let's see what the answer is going to be for Stark on that top side. If you think Skarner has a better early game, maybe they can put some pressure down. It's going to be Kennen! Kennen in the top lane. I want to remind everyone we are on 8.8. The 8.9 patch on live has changed to Kennen. That is not the patch we are on here. But Kennen, of course, I still think a great champion, one that should be very fun. And yeah, pressure top side seems likely.
I just want to see if he goes full AD split push, if he goes for AP Kennen builds, because AP Kennen later on is not going to be much of a threat against the Cho'Gath, who can just get early magic resist and then he's going to be fine. But if it is the pure like super old school split push Kennen on top side, just perma spam autos against the Cho.
And I think that has to be what it is. You know, it makes more sense within the context of this composition. You have Talia who can get out there and help you in those side lanes. And, you know, full AP Kennen, you know, against someone like Tahm Kench who can just eat up the Ezreal and actually avoid that entire ultimate would be very risky. And, you know, it has been a lot of their success. You see Stark in this kind of suicide split push type strategy where he's just running down the side lane, pressuring turrets, threatening inhibitors. And that could be one way to really kind of bring it to KZ.
We just see EVOS try and do a little bit of what we saw last time, where there's a lot of engage, especially from the bot lane. They found success going towards the lane. They actually left Stark alone the last time they played King's Zone and just tried to camp, Prey, and Gorilla. They can go for the same kind of setup here with the Varus and the Alistar, and then you just leave the Kennen alone. Just leave him up there, let him push to the turret 24/7, and then you try and kill people on the other side.
Well, this is going to be a fun one. Pretty sure it's first Kennen of the tournament. It is a tournament with Reckless after all. Who would have thought any differently? But of course, it's not him. It is Stark from EVOS in the do-or-die match. If they fail to win this one, they will be eliminated from knockout stage contention. And we'll see if they can make this one happen here. Their last game of the day, and it could be the last game that truly matters in the tournament for them as they charge off onto the Rift, ready to do battle with the pre-tournament favorites in King's Zone, who have looked mortal today.
Definitely true, and now we gotta look at level 1s, because we've seen teams really focus on finding good early setups to try and get mainly a jungle advantage. Definitely think we have seen during this tournament how important it is that teams have time before minions spawn to actually set up these different little strategies.
It's also worth noting that Stark is actually playing Unsealed Spellbook, which to me does signify it's more likely that he is AP.
Yeah, that tells me AP as well.
When I see AD Kennen, I do see things like press the attack a lot more often, especially if you are going for that kind of split push style on a tank. The damage amp can be very effective, but you know he could be kind of just bringing a little bit of his own flavor to it, and we're going to have to wait to find out.
Well, attempted invade comes through. Spire secured by EVOS. Gold shared across. And let's see where the early starts end up being. We got some time into the camp spawn, and all right, Cuz's Zac is going to be topside, looks like near his blue buff.
One thing worth pointing out is King's Zone is actually running double minion dematerializer in the bottom lane, which can really kind of throw off, you know, who has that minion control, in addition to the teleport from Prey, which we have seen him showcase a number of times. So they are really going to be looking to get the wave control, constantly push in their opponents and poke them out.
And they're going to need it, because the graphic we just showed here highlighted they were down 600 gold at 15 minutes when they played EVOS earlier in the tournament, and that was basically due to bot lane fights kept going in EVOS's favor. With their Alistar all in, obviously if you can jump in and actually get their Tahm Kench, focus him down if you are ganking on that side. Early start, just everyone instant killing the wave, and now it's a race for who can kill 3 melee minions the fastest.
The auto attacks coming through and plenty of help coming from Gorilla as well. Manifold ban for Ezreal stacking up, and we're going to see as this minion goes down, it is no problem. Level 2s are in. There's a quick slow, and jukes to the side. And here comes 2 for EVOS.
And one of the kind of funny things about when you are playing Klepto is Prey actually got almost instantly, you know, a rage pot there, so that is, you know, the bonus AD popped it right away. So that does give you a lot of extra power early on in the lane. Something that you actually have to respect quite a lot.
Ooh, Ignite is on. Warthog's got to get away. The auto might be enough. Tick! Oh, 3 HP. He gets away with it. Warzone's got to be careful.
Oh,
a Cashmina could kill him.
He's staying around because Yijin is actually here. If in case BDD went in for another round, instead it's Yijin finding Cuz.
Flash, he's gonna get the stun. He can blob with this one.
There's a
Cuz wants to flash away. But is there follow-up damage? Here comes the Drowsy. He's not gonna get the passive.
What is he doing?
And that's gonna be enough damage. Yijin gets the passive blows, but first blood and a buff goes over to BDD.
Why would you ever do that?
I mean, maybe you can win the 1v1, but your mid laner just lived with 3 HP. How is he going to be able to join? And Yijin just loses his mind there.
I'm not sure if he thought BDD had walked towards topside and already started recalling, so he would be very far away and he could easily burst the Zac down and then also kill him through the passive. But
It was by minions.
yeah, that was no. Okay, then I tried to find a reason. Let's just say that was a little bit too over-aggressive
Yeah.
for Yijin. I think maybe he felt like he had to force something, but not like that.
Never like that.
Style from Cuz though, 40 gold walking away from the camp. We had the damage, and now might be looking at this bottom lane. Won't quite get much, a pulverize, but he can still smack a minion. Pulls the Alistair right back, and Ronald P has to flash get away. Not going to be chopped, though he is the flash forward. Gorilla says this one's going to be mine. A headbutt back in the turret is beautiful. And the snipe from Slay, not able to put the shield on. A 1-for-1, well played by EVOS, honestly.
Yeah, that was the best they could have hoped for. Cuz instantly goes down to set up a gank for himself and wants to suddenly be impactful in his lanes, but I think Gorilla went a little bit too far on trying to get the Alistair here. Just take the summoner and you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get the gray health actually popped there, and you have to look at where those kills went, right? That was a kill that went to Slay here, on the Varus, and the kill went to Cuz, so definitely in their favor.
Round number 2, we know BDD has no stoners, and Slow sets it up for the stun combo. That was amazing. Yijin got the E long range. That guaranteed the kill.
Oh, landing that skill shot is not easy, but he gets it onto BDD, and suddenly that's another kill for EVOS here. They're trying to start the same way as we saw earlier. Aggression towards bot lane and mid lane. Of course, I guess down the bot lane was technically Gorilla, who was actually the aggressive one. But in the end, Slay got 1 kill for that one, and now Warzone in the mid lane gets a kill and a red buff.
Okay, so who would have thought 2-2 already 5 minutes in? Only 300 gold separates these teams. I'm just trying to stay alive and watch that fight again. As Cuz goes, yeah, I can get Slay here, no problem.
Yeah, Cuz coming over the wall. Ron OP playing it pretty well, actually, body blocking that Zac elastic arm, and the Gorilla just going very far in. Ron OP, just a really nice headbutt.
Yeah, I don't know if he was somehow out of mana or what, but that seemed telegraphed enough that he should have been able to hit the gray health. I'm not sure what was that.
I think he was maybe just looking at the tower shot and not expecting the Varus Q for that, the X Q perhaps
With
coming
the W
out.
active, yeah.
Yeah, but definitely a mistake either way. Not sure he would have survived, even with the gray health, but would have definitely had a chance.
Back into this lane, and it's a small power chop for Prey, of course. He's tier plus Sapphire Crystal versus Pickaxe and a Dagger, so 2-on-2 should look pretty good for Slay, honestly. He's still got the flash up to make plays, and as soon as 6 comes in, they've got to look for Gorilla again. Out goes Cuz.
Yeah, we have level 6 on Warzone. No flash on Gorilla, so he's a fairly easy target. Slay would love to get his level 6 as well, and then you just have 3 insanely good ultis at creating picks on the side of EVOS down towards the bottom lane if they actually send it to Leah, plus the Skarner. For now, though, it is a Gorilla and Prey just pushing the lane a little bit, but they have to respect that someone can come flying. And you already see the bot lane of Kingston. They back away the moment this Talia walks out of the mid lane. They're just respecting that they could actually die.
All right, here we go.
Oh, baby!
Flashes in, lands this stun. Look at the damage up, but their Ignite is on! And Stark solo kills Khan.
Incredibly well done. Khan greeting out for the wave. Stark catches him slipping there, just camping in the bush and getting a straight up solo kill.
Not the first time we've seen this up in the top lane. Khan dying in his laning phase. He's now down another wave or 2, and there's Stark. He's level 7. He's going to return to this lane, get us a bunch of items, and he's going to look for more kills.
Yeah, and Stark, it is confirmed he's going for AP there, going towards a proto belt, and Cuz in the mid lane.
Looking at this one. Cuz gets the pull back. He's going to get some damage now. Warzone. Ew, snapped by the Q. And there's a fake flash available for BDD.
Oh, here's the Skarner.
Oh, he wants in for the kidnap, pulls him forward. Not going to get drowsy at all, but is there follow-through? Gets the stun, but Warzone is not able to join the fight. He's so far away, and Yijin with red buff on won't have the damage. The knockback not going to be there, though. This could be it. Ignite is there, and Yijin with the shield still smacked, flashed in, and Cuz gets that one picked up.
Oh, Yijin was so close, but he's still missing that flash from much early on in the game. It's ready after this fight once he respawns, but he just could not finish BDD, and Warzone did not want to step forward, knowing there was a chance that he would die. In the end, it is a kill for Kingzone, but very active early game.
I've got to say, we'll watch it one more time, but I mean, with the cleanse available on Warzone, I feel like he might have been able to get a little bit of damage down, but here is the initial play, chunking Warzone out. He has to flash back, and then Skarter is coming around from the side, and we'll have to watch, could Warzone have actually got in there?
Yeah, so he's with the minions now, could step forward, but he knows there's a chance that Zach will jump him if he's actually there, and there's no flash on his side, so I think it's hard for him to join. Yijin maybe thought he could get the solo kill, but again, just missing that flash with about 10 seconds the moment he dies.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, it's one of those things where, if you're confident you can get the solo kill, then maybe, but at the same time, if your mid laner doesn't think they can join in, that should be communicated. You maybe shouldn't go for that play in the first place, and definitely Yijin seems a bit out of sync with Warzone, it has to be said. They had the one good gank, but play by the Raptor Pit, giving over first blood, and then this here is perhaps a bit of an overreach.
Overaggression is hurting EVOS here. The team is down 900 gold, and pretty much all that can be described as Skarner dying twice for nothing, unfortunately. So rough stuff here, but still, of course, much more League of Legends to be played as Kingzone walk down towards his Drake.
I just noticed the ult from Slay's on cooldown, so there must have been a little fight on the bottom side, but both flashes are still available on the side of Kingzone, so their job is effectively just to run away the moment EVOS send 4 players and maybe even an AP cannon to that bottom side. Cuz is around mid. It's been active on the Zac, really looking for ganks, not pure invades.
Spotted by some wards, but looking at a potential blue buff steal, you can see that the Kingzone bottom lane is shoved in, so they should have priority moving around. No TP for Khan, though, as Stark has one, as Vishu points out to me. That's going to be very important, but he points out again, the Cho'Gath walking down the river might make an attempt for this one, but blue should be handed off without much issue, so EVO's playing around it pretty well.
I would really like to see EVOS trying to force here, though. With teleport available, you have that TP advantage. Kennen on Protobelt N6 is actually extremely strong and looking to fight on the bot side.
Prey's very low on mana. He doesn't have a lot else to do.
TP,
he's getting ignited, could be chomped up. Gorilla has the shield on. Ronald has to flash away. Now Slay putting in some damage. Here comes Stark. He's got ult. He's got flash. He's going to look for Prey. He's going to find almost Gorilla. Can he land the Q and auto attack something to get the stun? Yes, he does. And now Prey has to do just that. Can he get away as this backline access comes?
Fighting everywhere.
Cuz somehow gets the kill. BDD gets the second. Zach, you might find a little bit more on this one. The dual lane is dead, but so is the mid and jungle. 3v3 on the map. BDD finds Stark back and forth. The stun is there. He's on top of a ward as well. Can they find the collapse now?
Oh, but they're still chasing Cuz down the bot lane. BDD's gonna walk down and meet them. Stark is still here.
Oh, gets the flash, gets the jump pretty far for this one. Alistair not going to be smacked for too much damage because it buys time for Stark to look for this. The flash chase kind of gives that one away. Cuz re-engages. Ignite is on. That's going to be only the passive. No, he does actually die. It was on cooldown. Prey TP'd to grab the kill.
And what a bloodbath. So many members going down on either side. Prey TPing back in after dying in the fight. Comes in and is able to clean it up in the end, but nice move from Stark, is sitting 3-0.
Yeah, it's 7 for 7 in kills here. Most of the kills from Kingzone have gone over to the Zac, so yeah, he's going to be very tanky. But it's the damage dealers on the other side with Kennen and Varus getting a lot of the kills on EVO's side. But this was just insane. Like, we had 2 fights happening at the same time. One in the bot lane, that's probably the one we're going to know. Actually, we get into the jungle first. So the 2 junglers find each other. Then the 2 mid laners will end up joining. And it is Yijin and Warzone alone against Cuz for now, but he actually gets out, and then suddenly BDD joins.
Yeah, and I mean, the missed flip there onto Cuz, pulling him out of that with the Skarner ult, and a bit of a mistake there, and BDD just getting so much work done in these fights, dodging everything with the ultimate.
Gets a little passive pop onto him and secure another kill. And then it's Cuz. It's going to one side to run away, and it's going to be Slay and Rano be chasing him, while, of course, Stark in the end will get the kill, but had to use flash towards the end of this replay here. It's going to be a very long one, seeing as now it's just Slay versus Cuz, and as a passive being popped.
At BDD, I feel like BDD could have just got out, but he actually R's back in to try to kill the Alistar.
It might be because Prey might be just calling, guys, I'm coming, just one more second, and then, we get BDD jumping in to land a little bit more damage. Fairly even in gold, very even in kills, and we might get more fights.
Oh, we got one right in the mid lane. Warzone barely dodged away from getting drowsy here in this one. Minion gets tagged and will be late to the lane, but that was close.
It's going to get kind of tough for Stark, though, because when you are going this AP build, it's very hard to have any consistent kill threat on someone like the Cho'Gath, who does have the Abyssal, who is just going to be stacking MR and walking it down, trying to knock down those turrets.
And we, right now, have had the most kills at 15 during the group stages, and we're not even at 15 minutes yet. Like, we've already beaten the record, and we have 2 more minutes to go, just with 14 kills in the game. Infernal Drake for Kingzone.
Beautiful.
It is so fantastic, both the stat and the Infernal Drake.
Yes. And you.
And Azael.
Thank you.
Yeah, but he's like second in line. Deficio, you're my husbando in this one.
Wow, thanks. The play-by-plays really like me.
Yeah.
Not sure what it is.
We just have a fan club. The Facebook group and everything. All right, well, turret stays safe. The threat of a counter gank was there, and nothing goes too crazy on the bottom side of the map. Still sitting at 700 gold apart here for this one. Once again, Evo's fighting up against the wall.
Oh, Warzone.
Yeah, pulls him in. Here comes BDD wanting to find a skill shot across the wall. Won't find that damage yet, but a flash out for Warzone. Does set that up pretty nicely for his teammate.
And this is another game, honestly, where Khan is struggling to get involved. He's the only one on the map without any kill participation. You know, he has had, for expectations, quite a rough tournament. He has not been able to make it happen.
Oh, nice headbutt. Times it well.
TP is coming.
Here comes the re-engaged passengers, but should still be down for Cuz. Cancel on the one side, and Khan going to cancel as well. Of course, Stark's teleport going to be lower cooldown. Thanks to everything else in his kit, and good juke to the side by Warzone stays safe. Now Khan feels pretty good about this one, but level 10 versus 11. And Stark just clears the way and walks out.
Oh, we have to remember that Khan has finally gotten some magic resistance. The Abyssal Mask is completed, so he's not too scared of Stark at the moment, and will just keep pushing topside and eventually get the turret. Cuz is looking for more, and based on how this game has been looking so far, I was very surprised we didn't get a 5-on-5 teamfight bot lane.
Yeah.
Everyone just ended up backing away.
Indeed. Nice. Last hit there. BDD grabs the cannon. And,
Okay.
Gets the drowsy. That could be enough for the kill. Cleanse gets away.
Very, very action-packed mid lane. But Khan, you know, as you said, it's just you don't have enough damage to actually push back the Cho'Gath, and he is showing respect to the fact that jungler could be there, but otherwise you can essentially just move in and finish that off, and he knows he's eventually going to be able to get it.
Yeah, single wave is all he really needs, and he can pull the trigger on auto attacking the thing. Now Yijin going to be knocked up. BDD's coming around. Blue smite, but out they go.
We also know that the later we go into this game, like the stronger Prey is going to be. We haven't really talked a lot about the Ezreal, but it was obviously one of the picks we saw on day one from Kingzone. First pick. They got to the late game team fights, and Prey with the double tier build just destroyed everyone. That's going to happen in this game as well, which is why we need EVOs to continue the aggression. We need them to actually get ahead in this game, and Kingzone, they've been matching all these fights. They've been getting the advantage now with the turret on top side, and while Khan hasn't joined the big team fights yet, he's done enough for his team now by just winning that lane.
Definitely the case. For EVOS, it's so much of it just comes down to the engage, right? Can you actually get that perfect Alistar combo, you know, with the Kennen flanking in and killing off Prey, killing off BDD? Because if you can, the damage is certainly there from Slay with this Rageblade Varus to actually finish off some of those tanks, but if you can't kill Prey with your engage, it feels very unlikely you can win a team fight.
Very, very true. And now I want to see if Ooh, actually, Warzone almost dying again. Every time you look mid, I feel like he's under pressure.
He really is. BDD's having a great time in this lane. He's not winning in farm, but he's getting a lot of turret damage. Oh, and the Ignite is in! He's got the solo kill! BDD flexing in the mid lane.
Oh, it's so good with BDD. Some games he's playing, you know, the team games, all about pushing and roaming. Other games he gets to be a huge carry like this one, and he's just destroying Warzone. Didn't get the one on Stark just yet. I was just going to say before, I want to see if there's a ward behind Kingzone's bot lane so Stark can TP in and they can force that huge play they need to get ahead. But there's that control ward in the lane from Kingzone denying that, and Stark can't really find a way to the bottom lane to surprise Prey and Gorilla. That's the control ward was highlighting, and now there's not a good way for EVOS to force a fight, and they need it.
Yeah, it becomes very, very difficult, but Kingzone is always kind of doing that due diligence. You can see Gorilla already has his sweeper here as well. You know, even before the Sightstone quest was actually fully completed, it looks like he has already done that, and kind of swapped over pretty early. He wanted to make sure that all the wards behind them were cleared out. He wanted to make sure that they weren't going to be able to be engaged on.
Nice attempt, but wow, look at that burst damage coming back. This could be a hurtful ultimate. Gets away from that as well. The Predator was popped. Yijin wanted it and couldn't find that one. Prey stays safe, and now Cuz ready to react.
Also got that early cleanse on Gorilla side, just in case he gets locked down by a Varus ulti. So the bot lane of Kingzone are really showing how hard it can be to shut them down in this game. And EVOS now maybe looking around mid. Yijin is sitting here. Ron OP is on his way. But BDD should be able to back away or not.
Oh, he's
There
still
we
going
go.
to get him. There's the pullback. The damage easily going to be enough. Finally, a trade kill in the mid lane. But look at the bot side. Here comes Let's Bounce, and Ronapi running out of health. A quick headbutt to buy some time, but he is certain to go down. Prey gets the credit for all the hard work his teammates did. 2 1-on-1 there, and now Khan gets some control out of mid lane, almost in range to kill off Yujin. And with that damage coming through, this could be it. And yes, he takes him down. Khan gets his first kill of the game.
Cuz is on the side, he's looking for more.
He's going to find it. Warzone's got nowhere to go. Another one comes through to Prey. Third for the game on him.
Yeah, just such a nice fight back there from KingZone, but EVOS is continuing to be proactive. They are trying to look for these picks. They are trying to get those kills. They know that they have to do it, but KingZone has just been having the answer every single time.
Yeah, they've played against them before. They know how EVOS can win a game and what they need to do against it. First pick Tahm Kench, protect the bottom side. All game long, kill all the wards so they can't TP in, and instead it becomes this play in the mid lane where, yeah, feels kind of bad as a Zoe. You're not obviously staying out once you use your ulti there, but that's just one kill for them, and they're kind of looking for the jackpot. They were looking for the 3 to 4 man engage from Stark where they can take down a bunch of members and a turret. Instead, it's one on BDD, and now the rest of KingZone shows up. They've already won on the bottom side, and they kill the rest.
And the Tahm Kench ultimate just getting them there so much faster, and unless Slay is there, no one can touch Khan at this point. It's essentially, no damage coming out onto this guy from anybody else. And, even on the Varus, you have a fair bit of mixed damage, so something like an adaptive can be very, very effective. And Khan is going to be such an issue in the team fighting alongside Cuz, because they just don't have a lot of consistent damage. It's all up front, and that means you have to get the key kills instantly.
Yeah. To their credit, there is a lack of defensive summoners on KingZone. The TP has to stay there for Prey. BDD's not running with a healer barrier either. So if the good ultimate does happen, you can't stop the damage. There's no locket yet for the team, for example, but the positioning, the overall landing phase for KingZone's been so good. Those options seem way too rare anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely possible, but it is
BDD.
tough.
There's the early flash, and the Drowsy's going to come through, so no pickup yet, but the teleport coming through. Weaver's wall, and they are going to have Cuz a little bit isolated as BDD's not yet in his fight.
the
Bounce
ulti.
brings him in, and Yujin's going to fall. Here comes the slicing Maelstrom, but the damage just not high enough. They've got to run, but will it even be enough? Knock back over the wall, and Cuz can't quite find Stark. Either way, it's 2 kills to nothing. The chase comes through where they find the Drowsy. Slay in a bad spot. Gonna be pulled back once more. The shot comes in. That's number 3, and Stark makes it the death number 4. Only Warzone alive, and even he's a bit cut off from the rest of his base. So that's gonna be the ace coming through. Kill credit to Khan, his second chop. 16-8 in the game.
And now KingZone just in full control. Cuz moving behind the team here. Yeah, we saw the TP from Stark, but he didn't care. He knew he can jump in, pull back multiple members, and KingZone can just win the fight. They're too far ahead now. They got double Infernal. All the members are fed.
Yeah, there's just not even close to enough damage to kill off Cuz there. Great, you found the Zac, but what are you going to do about it? And expending those cooldowns on it, they're not able to get anything. Prey, very easy shift out of that Cannon ultimate meant there was no chance to win the fight.
It's just been impossible for them the last 5 minutes to get the perfect setup. Like, you have this AP cannon. You know when you draft it, you need to nail the mid game with it. Like, you need to get that big engage, because top lane, as we talked about in Champs, like, if it is AP cannon, Cho'Gath grabs a bunch of MR items and then he doesn't care about you anymore, and Kennen can only go to the lanes and play teamfight, which is what he's been trying to do, but then the one TP he gets, no one was really there except for Zac.
Yeah, it becomes so tough because despite the fact that, as you said, Freak, no defensive summoner on Prey, Tahm Kench is your defensive summoner, right? And he even has cleanse, so just in case he gets stunned to that ultimate, he can still cleanse out of that CC, eat you up, and there's a ton of protection around this Prey Ezreal, which we know is incredibly deadly at this stage in the game.
Doing so well. He's got a ton of gold in his pockets. 5-1-5 is a great score. Now BDD might be found out. Doesn't have a flash. Does get pulled back in, but it's a 2-on-2. Here's the pullback. Let's bounce across the wall. And now into very much unsafe territory. Run up, he wanted to show. Has to blast going back over the wall, but might still be chased down. So we watch Yujin falling first as BDD and Cuz walk in. The other kill on the top side happens. 3 for 0 again. Kills in a row, and now the ult to make sure Baron can be the next kill.
That should be Baron now for KingZone. Obviously looking at RNG and Flash Wolves. They're currently sitting above them in the standings. Flash Wolves losing 2 games today, so they're 6-2. Still the #1 team. And then we have RNG with 5 wins, and soon KingZone with 5 wins as well. So a lot of teams fighting for that #1 spot.
really setting themselves up, for that opportunity on the final day to clinch the first seed, to choose your opponent, and perhaps increase your chances of getting all the way to that finals.
This is going to be a very fun back half of the group stage here as we watch this fight again. And as we know, it goes 3-0 for KingZone.
Yeah, BDD. It's about buying enough time, and then of course the Zach comes in again. I gotta say, Cuz, great first game.
Yeah.
Here on the MSI stage, he's been super active and been involved in basically everything. Run up, he tried to get away, but there's really no chance. And the rest of KingZone can then go straight to Baron, secure another objective. And we're looking at just a KingZone team ready to finish the game as fast as possible.
Yeah, I mean, double Infernal, a massive gold lead, and they are just so far ahead. It's going to take a miracle for EVOS to win a fight, let alone really get back into the game.
And that's just using half his health for really nothing on a VDD. That wasn't even his Ignite. He put down the Q. Yeah, he's just doing a lot of damage on his face there. And he's just going to have to heal pretty soon on this one. But Baron buff on means the siege can continue without much issue.
So I have to remember, if EVOS lose this game, they cannot advance to the group stages, cannot get enough wins, need at least 4, and they only have 2 games left to play.
Only Liquid can challenge if they do in fact lose this game. Slay in a bad spot and is slain. Prey picks that one up. He's godlike, which very fitting for the name. Prey to himself, as he's been absolutely amazing so far into this one. 20-8 double Infernal Brick, Baron buff on, and more turrets are falling as top lane happens.
And you've got to say, such an improvement over their previous game against EVOS. And we traditionally talk so often about these Korean teams as you get to the knockout stage, just how they improve, how they get better and better and better. And these guys are hungry for a championship. The only one here who has won that international championship is Peanut on KingZone.
Yeah, and it's always important to remember that we can't base a best of 5 Korean team on their BU1 performance. We have seen these LCK teams drop a lot of games in the past, but then still look fantastic in the playoff stage. However, what we can say is we have seen a lot of examples on how KingZone can struggle. And they have not proven in the past on the international stage that they can just instantly change and adapt for the best of 5. They still need to show us this time around.
Oh, Slay gets in, or sorry, Cuz does and pulls in 2. That's a couple of quick ones, and they've all gotten to con so far. Now Stark's forced to run, gonna get found out though. Slicing Maelstrom doesn't matter, the kill's coming fast and furious, and this one's gonna be Yijin just stuck inside the base, but it doesn't really matter. No sequels left for EVOS here. The kills come through finally. No one left standing. It's all the turrets left to die. EVOS will be eliminated from playoff contention. KingZone will be within 1 game win of first place in the groups with 2 more to play. And after the early game, a convincing mid-game will close this one out. Congratulations to KingZone.
EVOS took their shots, but it was mostly KingZone the whole way through, and they will close it out. A very good first game from Cuz.
And very fitting he got the last kill as well. He deserved that one. Here you go. Great performance on the Zac. Good to see KingZone knowing 100% what's going to happen in this game.
Yeah.
Protect that bottom side, get the early time Kent, clear all the wards. Okay, Stark can't join. As long as KingZone do not fall behind, they will just fully control the game and be able to win. But kudos to EVOS. I mean, yeah, they have now only won a single game.
Yeah.
However, there have been a lot of very close games they've played so far where they could definitely have gotten more wins.
This is the first year of Vietnam being their own exclusive region, separated from the GPL that they were in last year and before then. And honestly, for so long we talked about, oh, the big 5, the major regions. Yes, okay, their score is 1-7. They have not quite stepped up to the plate the way the other teams in the world have so far, but it might be time to start calling it the big 6. To be honest, these teams are very good. EVOS just about at that level.
Or keep it to the big 5 and just remove NA.
Yeah,
also an option.
Also an option.
1 game ahead.
Also an option. Yeah, but we have twice as many wins, so for now we'll table that one. Honestly, still, all I want to say is, though they are eliminated, it has been a great showing, a heartening showing from EVOS so far, but it means KingZone to move back to them. The ones who have won here, they're the pre-tournament's favorites. They have dropped 3 games so far, but this was a pretty solid game.
Definitely was, and I still am looking kind of for Khan to really have his incredible games that we had seen in the LCK. That is one of the things I feel has been missing from a lot of this tournament. He has had his struggles. He did have a solid performance here on Cho'Gath, but it hasn't felt the same as when you're watching KingZone in the LCK. We haven't seen the same Peanut taking over these early games. We haven't seen as much of Khan